So in this video, we're going to be breaking down how to utilize TradexMastery and Akashx together to be a killer combo. We are going to start off with TradexMastery. If you're watching this video, you may have either received a free promotional account or you are purchasing your own challenge account. Whatever the case is, TradexMastery.com is the website where we can actually log in. We can access our accounts, see everything, check out the rules, the whole thing, right? So on this website, guys, I want to start off with making sure that you understand what a prop firm is, how it really works, in a general sense, so that we can, take advantage of this opportunity the right way. Now, TradexMastery is a prop firm. There are many other prop firms that exist in the world, but this prop firm is mine of choice, right? It is a prop firm that offers up to 90% of profits, and you can even scale your capital up to 200K and all the way to $5 million, which is amazing. Now, how does the prop firm work, right? What are the first steps that we gotta start doing to make sure that we get this capital? Now, first and foremost, when it comes to prop firms, there are going to be 3 stages, which I want to break down for you guys here really quickly. So first and foremost, when you start, you're going to have your phase 1, which is called your evaluation phase. Now, prop firms are not just going to fund you money without first proving that you actually know what you're doing as a trader. Now, you don't have to be an expert trader in order to get funded and receive payouts, and that's where Akashx comes into play in just a second. But we do have to, at minimum, understand how to manage our accounts properly to make sure that we are actually hitting the goals and avoiding the things that can get our accounts taken away from us, which I'm going to be breaking down for you. So phase 1, you have your first login with TradexMastery. It's going to be an account number, a trader password, and a server. And essentially, your goal is to grow this account by 10%. Again, 25K, that's 2,500 in profit. 50K, that's going to be 5,000 in profit. 100K, 10K, 200K, 20K, right? 10% profit. Now, what is the catch, right? What do we need to, make sure we don't do, right? In the process of making these 10%, we cannot lose 10% of the account. Meaning, in the effort of us making this account go from 25 to 27,500, for example, we cannot lose 10%. Meaning, the account cannot go from 25K to 22,500. If you do that, you have failed the challenge, and you are going to have to start with a brand new account, a brand new purchase to go again. Okay. The only other rules here is the daily loss rule, where essentially you cannot lose 5% in a single day. So the 10% rule of max loss is to make sure that you are profitable, right? That you are not just losing money, you are actually making money. Now, the daily loss is to prevent gambling or getting lucky, because if you start over leveraging, over risking, over trading, a lot of the bad habits that, basically cause unprofitable trading, they will stop you out very early. So you cannot lose 5% in one single day. So if you're on a 25K account, you cannot lose $12.50 in a single day. If you violate the daily loss, you lose the account. If you violate the max loss, you also lose the account. Now, you will notice that there are refundable fees. So when you get these accounts, right, you do have to put down a certain amount of money in order to start this. Think about this process like getting your license to become an electrician, to do air conditioning, right? Anything that requires licensing, you have to pay to take a test to show that you are ready to have the profession given to you, right? The licensing to do what you do given to you. It's very similar when it comes to these prop firms. So refundable fees depend. If it's a 25K, it's 225, 50K, 325, 200K is about 975. Again, go on TradexMastery.com. You guys can go in here and really look at all these small details. But that is essentially how you pass phase 1. Phase 2 is the verification. Verification is just to make sure that you didn't just get lucky that first time around with the evaluation account. The good news is that they're going to make the goal half of what it was the first time around. So you don't have to make another 10%. You only have to make 5% the second time around. So with a 25K account, you're looking at just making $1,250, aka 5%. And again, you cannot lose 10% of the account in the process, and you cannot lose 5% in a single day. Now, the great thing with TradexMastery is that you do not have a time limit of how fast you need to accomplish phases 1 and 2. If you want to take the minimum 5 days, you can do that. You can finish this in as quickly as 5 trading days. If you are somebody that somehow hits the 10% in one single day, right? Then for the other 4 trading days, what you can essentially do is take a very small, the smallest position possible with a 0.01 lot size and just get a trade in for the day. So that way it counts towards your minimum trading days. So a trading day is specified as you placing an order in the market, not just calendar days that are moving along. So again, if you somehow pass the challenge, which is possible in a single day, you want to make sure that you place baby trades, very small trades for 4 more days to meet the minimum. All right. So in as quickly as 5 days, you can pass phase 1. In as quickly as 5 days, you can go ahead and pass phase 2. But you don't have to do it in a certain amount of time. You can take 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, right? You have no time limit, which is great. There's no pressure. You guys can take this account at the speed that you are comfortable with your experience level. So once you pass phase 1 and phase 2, now you actually have your funded account. Now, this is not $25,000 or whatever, challenge size you have. It's not just money that's going to be direct deposited into your bank account or anything like that. It is just another login to a separate account that is your actual funded account. And essentially anything that you make in profit on that account, you're keeping 80% of the profits and 20% are going to TradexMastery. There are options that you can pay for, which I'm going to be going into the kind of the back end extras that you can pay for and extra rules you need to be aware of. You can actually get up to 90% of the profits if you pay an extra percentage fee up front for the challenge to get that much of a payout. But as a standard, you guys are getting 80%, TradexMastery keeps 20%. So let's say that you pass phase 1, you pass phase 2, and once you have your funded account, you make 10%. That is $2,500 with the 25K account. And after 80-20 splits, you are basically keeping $2,000 with the other $500 going to TradexMastery. And the great part is that fee that you use to take this challenge is now refunded to you. So you don't get the refund once you pass the phases. You get the refund when you get your first payout. So it is very important that you guys understand you want to secure your first payout to get your initial investment back and be risk-free playing with house money or TradexMastery's money moving forward. So this is an amazing return on investment if you guys are either ready as traders to pass these challenges, or, and this is where this video comes into play, how to leverage Akashx to help you pass these challenges, because you are going to be leveraging educators such as myself and the rest of the educational team to take quality trades, right, for you to again pass these phases and grow your funded accounts. So if we go to the button that says get funded, this is where we're going to purchase an account. And I want you to see something here. So you will notice that under the challenge accounts, there are things called add-ons that we can select here. And you'll notice, again, like I mentioned earlier, you can pay extra to get a 90% profit share instead of 80%. And then there's other options here like trading on the weekends and news trading. So very important. If you are, jumping into this challenge and you're not paying for these extras, or if you maybe received a free account during a promo with TradexMastery, most likely you do not have these features added at the moment, which means you have to adhere to the rules according to the type of challenge you have. So if you do not have the ability to trade weekends or news, you need to understand these very specific details to make sure that you are not violating any rules that will have your account revoked. So if we scroll to the bottom, there's going to be a rules and terms and conditions that we can click on, and that is going to give us, very detailed description of how this all works with the prop firm. But I want to highlight the news, and I want to highlight the weekends, holidays, because those are the small rules that we need to make sure that we do not violate to keep our accounts, right? So number one is trading during news. Okay, again, if you pay to trade during news, it's fine. But if you are not paying to trade during news, you need to adhere to this, right? It says significant releases and events. It's the trader's responsibility to have all positions associated as listed here under closed no later than 2 minutes in advance of the economic releases of the ones that you see listed here. So NFP, right, non-farm payrolls, CPI, PPI, PMI, a lot of these popular news events, we need to make sure that your positions are closed. You're not in any open trades 2 minutes prior to when these news releases are happening. All right. Again, if you are trading within that, then you can get your account basically revoked. Okay, so it's very important that we are not trading during news unless, again, you pay for it. Now it says the foregoing notwithstanding, we keep an updated list of further important releases or significant events and their associated symbols to which new positions must not be open before and during the 2 minutes following the release of the news calendar, right? So all positions close 2 minutes before, so you cannot enter any trades 2 minutes before news, and it must be after 2 minutes of the news dropping, right? Nothing earlier than that, nothing in the middle of that. And again, guys, this is to prevent, people from gambling the news, trying to just get lucky with a crazy spike in price, right? We don't allow that in TradexMastery. So essentially, you just got to make sure that you adhere to that, again, unless you pay to trade news. Now, other things to keep in mind, guys, is when it comes to, any trading on the weekend, right? You have to close positions no later than 2 hours in advance of the closing relevant market. So, every Friday, right? 2 hours before market closure, you must have your positions closed. Right? And any holidays, guys, that you can halt whatever you're trading for more than 2 hours is considered a holiday, and you must have your positions closed before that. So as a general rule of thumb, you don't want to be trading on holidays, okay? And you want to make sure that you are closing your trades at least 2 hours in advance of the market closure on the weekends. And again, do not trade during news. Now that we understand how all of the rules work and we have our account ready to go, you want to make sure that you have officially linked that to the respective trading platform, which at this time of this recording is Trade Locker. So TradexMastery working with the Trade Locker platform, you want to make sure that you have either the Trade Locker app or you just go through a web browser, and that you are logging in with the credentials that are provided to you via email from TradexMastery so that you're able to log in on Trade Locker to your Tradex account. That is the first step to making sure that you actually can start placing orders on your funded account. Now, here's where things get fun, right? How can we start leveraging Akashx to help us with our funded accounts? So, Akashx, we are here, user.akashx.com. Also, you have the Akashx app for App Store on Apple, and you also have the Google Play Store for Android, okay? Now, very popular thing that we're most likely going to have people ask is, can we connect our TradexMastery prop firm accounts to Tap to Trade? Absolutely yes. The answer is yes. And we have resources, of course, within Akashx that you guys can get your hands on that will show you, again, how to get a TradexMastery account, how to set it up on Trade Locker, and then also how to set it up on Tap to Trade. On this video, we're not going to go into, depth of setting up the Tap to Trade for the prop firm account because there are separate videos, separate resources showing that. Okay, but in general, when we go to getting started on the Akashx website, this is where we're going to do the linking of the prop firm or any account really here. So you'll have, your trade locker option. You have to put your email, account, password, and broker name on there to connect your tap to trade to TradexMastery. So assuming that you have followed all the steps, you have connected your TradeX to tap to trade, I want to really give you some guidance on how to maximize Akashx with your funded accounts and tap to trade and trade alerts and everything else we have in order to get funded and stay funded. Okay, so when it comes to Akashx, the number one thing again is tap to trade, right? Whether you are experienced or if you are newer, tap to trade is our number one biggest asset here in Akashx. And essentially you guys are going to be able to approve trades from our Akashx app or website, and those trades will be automatically taken on your challenge account, funded account with TradexMastery, depending on the phase that you're in, with these same trades and a conservative risk. So let's say we get a new tap to trade come in from Joel. He calls out a buy for gold. You will see approve for the trade. You can approve the trade, and from that point, you will ask you if you want to just approve the size of the trade, right? The lot size. Now, when it comes to the lot size, again, I highly recommend that you guys check out our academies here on Akashx that go over basics, that go more in depth with a lot of examples of what lot sizes are, how to calculate them, etc. The purpose of tap to trade is to keep things very, very simple. So that way you don't have to do all these calculations, right? So with tap to trade, it will automatically default you to the lot size based off the risk that the educator has set. So what does that mean? It means that lot size is going to be already basically pre-scripted for your account size to put you in at a very small risk. So again, if you want to have the most hands-off, seamless experience, I don't want to calculate anything, keep it simple, then just go ahead and approve the trades that are coming in with the lot size that it already has pre-selected for you. Now, again, if you want to speed things up, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, and if you want to, really get the ball rolling a little bit faster with your funded accounts, then you are going to most likely have to change your lot size to something a little bit higher so that you can start risking more to making more with the trades. All right. So I want to show you really quickly how to do that. We're going to head over to this trading view chart and we're going to look at some scenarios here. Okay. So with that last tap to trade that we just saw here from Joel, we saw that we had a gold XAU USD buy, and the stop loss was 50 pips. Okay. Now, if we have a 0.01 lot size and we take that stop loss, that means that we will lose minus $5. Why am I looking at the losses? Because, guys, we are going to win a lot of trades and we're also going to lose some trades. And the key to becoming successful, in the profits with trading is going to come from you being able to handle when we have a couple of losses. If you're able to weather those small storms with proper risk management, then you can take advantage of the big wins that come through later. Okay, but we just need to make sure that you are not over leveraging yourself and not being able to take a couple of losses comfortably. You should be able to take multiple losses comfortably without jeopardizing your account. If that is not the case, you are risking too much. Simple as that, right? So 0.10 lot size means that if we are taking a loss on that 50 pip stop loss trade, we are losing $50. And if we are taking this at a 1.00 lot size, it means that we are going to take a $500 loss. So this really starts to become an eye-opener for us to realize, oh, okay, well, if stop loss is 50 pips, you know, I need to make sure I have the right lot size set so I'm not losing too much if we happen to take a stop loss on this one particular trade. Now, this is where understanding the percentages of your funded account is crucial. So we have a 25,000, whoops, we have a $25,000 funded account, for example. All right. And we cannot lose 10% of the account overall, cannot lose 5% in a day. So what does that look like? Well, again, 10% overall is minus 2,500, and in a day that is minus 1,250. So if we are losing, let's say $500 because we used a 1.0 lot size on that trade and we happen to lose, right? That means that you have now lost how much, right? We have lost on that one trade with minus $500. That is minus 2% of the account. That is, in my opinion, way too much to lose on one specific trade. In my opinion, you guys should risk no more than 1% per trade. Max. This is absolutely max that you should be risking per trade. If you are a very skilled and advanced trader and you have a lot of experience with trading prop firms, then you may be risking something like 2% on a plus picture perfect setup. But I'm talking to the majority of us watching this that maybe you are brand new to trading, maybe you have little to no experience, you've never done a prop firm account. You guys do not need to be going that aggressive. We have so many trades that get sent out on just tap to trade alone that it does not require you to be risking so much. You just simply need to take more and more opportunities with a smaller risk and just compound your way up. All right, so absolutely no more than 1% risk per trade max, which is the equivalent of $250, right? No more than that. So if you ever see a loss that comes anything more than a penny over $250 with a 25K account, of course, 1%, you are risking way too much. And again, tap to trade itself is configured to not risk not even 1% per trade. So you should be fine when it comes to that, okay? The only reason why I would do that is if you are manually changing your lot size, when you're approving the trade. And at that point, it's on you guys for changing that manually, okay? So this is the most important thing. As long as you can control your losses to be small, then you can reap the benefits of the consistency that we have with our winning streaks, our winning ratios, right? And to showcase that, I actually want to show you the Akashx website, and you can click on Tap Traders. So on Akashx, you can click on Tap Traders, and you can see the trade history, right? The trade history for all these different educators. If we look at somebody like Joel, you can see he has total profit 9.77%. He has 62 trades, 48 won, 14 lost. 48 won, 14 lost. So do we lose trades? Yes, you can clearly see we lose trades. But the wins are bigger, and that is how we hit profit. All right, guys? So this is super crucial to understand. You can choose who you want to be accepting the trades from. You can see their track record. You can see that this is a profitable system here with Tap to Trade and Akashx, right? The numbers do not lie, guys. The documentation beats conversation every single time, as we love to say here. And again, if you are just simply approving the trades as they come, you will be okay. If you want to be more aggressive, it's up to you how you play with the risk, as I just guided you on here, okay? So that is the tap to trade portion, right? We also have other services like the trade alerts, right? And the ability to take your own trades utilizing some of our scanners like Golden Rain, Go, Trend Capture, etc. I want to start with the trade alerts really quickly. Myself, I actually am somebody that loves the trade alerts. I send trade alerts very frequently for NAS 100. Now, I will say that when it comes to the trade alerts, this is for people that just have gotten maybe a little bit of experience with placing trades and navigating their trading platforms. With tap to trade, there's really nothing to think about except approving the trades and making sure you're in a decent size before hitting approve. When it comes to the trade alerts, you do need to understand how to copy and paste the stop loss, the take profits into your trade locker account, so that way you're copying and pasting the trade correctly. And you also need to make sure that you are not taking the trade very late and that you are, again, using the proper lot size when we are taking the trades, right? So, for example, one of my last trade alerts here for NAS 100, we hit TP4, right? This was a trade that ran for basically a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now, when it comes to tap to trade, we're going to be in and out of the market relatively quick. You're usually going to risk, for example, 50 pips to make 50 pips, 20 pips to make 20 pips, right? A lot of the trades you are going to risk 1% to make 1%, 0.5% to make 0.5% in general, right? When it comes to my trade alerts and a lot of the educators, we aim to be in trades that take a little bit longer, and you're looking for trades that make, you know, double, triple, or more of your risk. So with that said, you have to understand that these trades, again, are going to take longer from start to finish. And again, you are going to have to do a little bit more work with just understanding how to take the trades on your platform correctly, again, by copying and pasting things like the stop loss and the take profit levels. And you have to manage the trade yourself, guys. We do update you with instructions. For example, I will tell you when to take the trade when the alert comes out. And I will tell you things like when to move your stop loss to your entry to protect your position, and when I am out of the trade with my final targets. But at the end of the day, you guys can decide if you want to close your trades at take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. So because there's a little bit more decision making, you do have to, pay attention to the trade a little bit more. You do have to manage it yourself manually. So again, tap to trade is basically hands off once you approve the trade. With the trade alerts, there is the upside of making a lot more profit compared to the risk and really getting the most bang for your buck on an opportunity. But it does come with that little bit of extra work of managing that position. Now, the last thing again, guys, is, our scanners and you basically taking your own trades as you apply the education and strategies that you're learning from the educators here in Akashx. And so if you go into something like the Go scanner, right, and we let it load up, you're going to have a scanner where you're going to have different opportunities pop up on here, and you can get good at knowing how to follow the point system. You can follow the educators that are teaching these strategies on their live sessions and learn how to do it just like them. And these are trades that, again, you can take in private by yourself. Just keep in mind, you do have to know, again, just like the trade alerts, how to calculate your lot size, how to understand your position sizes and everything of that nature. So in general, guys, you can graduate from doing the simplest, easiest thing of just accepting tap to trades and working your way up to taking trade alerts, utilizing the scanners, and taking your own trades. So if you combine everything, you have all the potential in the world for you to hit all of your trading goals and absolutely change your life financially through trading. Now that you have the opportunity with capital in your hands. However, we need to make sure that with that responsibility of this capital, we need to execute properly. We need to just make sure that we are following the rules and that we are trading smart, right? No need for greed, no need for fear. As long as we enter with proper risk and we give the patience of just looking for these quality opportunities via tap to trade, trade alerts, the scanners, you guys will definitely continue to improve and see progress in your trading. So with that said, congratulations on your new funded challenges. We look forward to your success in the trading industry, guys. I will see you in the Telegram communities. I will see you on our live sessions, and I will see you at the next event. Much love, and let's go.